What if the penny in your pocket right now could quietly hold a piece of American history worth far more than 1 cent? Imagine this: a small copper-colored coin passed through millions of hands, forgotten in drawers, lost in couch cushions. It looks ordinary, but under the right light, with the right story, it transforms. This is the 1980 Lincoln cent, and today we're diving deep into its hidden world. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you might never look at pocket change the same way again. Picture the year 1980. America was in the middle of a cultural shift. Jimmy Carter was still in the White House at the start of the year. The Iran hostage crisis gripped the nation. John Lennon had just been killed. Disco was fading, and MTV was about to be born. In the middle of all that uncertainty, the U.S. Mint was quietly striking billions of these tiny copper ambassadors. Over $7.4 billion from Philadelphia alone. That's a number so massive it's hard to wrap your head around. Yet here we are, decades later, still talking about them. Why? Because even in mass production, history leaves fingerprints. And some of those fingerprints turn ordinary coins into legends. Let's zoom in on this coin. Hold it in your mind like the one in the image. On the obverse, you see that iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln. Strong, thoughtful, facing right. The word liberty sits proudly to the left. In God we trust arcs above his head. And the date 1980 anchors the bottom. Flip it over, and there's the Lincoln Memorial standing tall with its columns. You can almost feel the weight of history in that building. A pluribus unum above it. United States of America surrounding. 1 cent below. Simple, elegant, timeless. But here's where it gets cinematic. If you look really close, magnify those steps leading up to the memorial, you'll see something incredible. A tiny seated figure of Lincoln himself inside the memorial. It's a miniature within the miniature, a quiet reminder that the man on the front is forever watching over the nation he helped preserve. That level of detail in a coin worth 1 cent. It's almost poetic. Now most people stop there. They see the surface. Collectors, they hunt for the soul beneath. The 1980 penny was struck in that last golden era of copper composition, 95% copper, 5% zinc. That warm reddish glow you see on pristine examples, that's real copper catching the light, something modern zinc pennies lost after 1982. Hold a 1980 cent next to a new one, and you feel the difference in weight, in color, in history. But not all 1980 pennies are created equal. Mint marks tell their own stories. Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, just that clean space under the date. Denver coins carry a bold D. And San Francisco produced beautiful proof versions with an S, often with that deep cameo contrast that makes them pop under lights. Those mint marks aren't just letters, they're clues. They whisper about where the coin was born, how it traveled through America's veins, through cash registers, piggy banks, and time itself. Here's a rehook for you. What if one tiny mistake during the minting process turned your everyday penny into a collector's obsession? Enter the hidden details most people completely ignore. The most famous is the 1980 double die obverse, known to experts as FS 101. Strong doubling shows up on the date and the word liberty. It's not obvious at first glance. You need good lighting, a magnifying glass, and a sharp eye. But once you see it, it jumps out. That variety can push values significantly higher in top condition. There are also subtle die scratches, polish marks, and that beautiful wood grain toning some coins developed from the metal mix. And then there's condition. This is where the real suspense builds. A worn 1980 penny in your change may be worth a few cents for the copper, but a gem? Red, full luster, no marks. That's when the story changes. High-grade examples in MS66 or MS67 red have sold for hundreds, and in exceptional cases, even more at auction. We're talking about coins that survived decades without a single scratch, bag mark, or fingerprint dulling their shine. One standout 1980D recently made headlines with a strong auction result in high grade. These aren't made-up numbers. They're real market moments where patience, knowledge, and a little luck collide. Grading is almost like a detective story. Professional services like PCGS and NGC examine every microscopic detail. They look at strike quality, eye appeal, surface preservation. A coin graded MS67 red doesn't just look good. It looks untouched by time. It carries that original mint brilliance that makes collectors' hearts race. And that brings us to the emotional heart of coin collecting. Why do people spend years hunting these? It's not just money. It's connection. Holding a 1980 penny is like holding a time capsule. You can imagine the hands it passed through. A kid in 1980 buying candy, a soldier overseas, a parent teaching their child about Lincoln. Every scratch tells a story. Every pristine surface feels like it defied the odds. There's something deeply human about it. In a world of digital everything, touching a physical piece of history grounds you. Collectors talk about the thrill of the hunt, that moment when you spot something special in a roll of coins or at a flea market. The suspense of waiting for grading results, the joy of adding it to a set. It's nostalgia mixed with discovery. That quiet excitement when you wonder, could this be the one? Visualize it. Soft, dramatic lighting on a wooden desk, a loop hovering over the coin, slow zoom on Lincoln's profile, cut to archival footage of 1980s America, cars, fashion, headlines, then back to the coin spinning slowly, catching light on its edges. That's the feeling. Cinematic. Alive. Now let's talk realistic values without the hype. Most 1980 pennies in circulation are worth 1 to 3 cents. Uncirculated examples can range from a few dollars to 20 or 30 in solid MS 65 to 66 red. Top-tier gems? That's where serious collectors step in, hundreds for exceptional pieces. And varieties like the double die, they command premium prices when certified. The key factors are always the same: condition, eye appeal, and rarity of the specific variety or grade. No need for wild speculation. The market speaks for itself through real auctions and collector demand. But here's the deeper truth. Even if your 1980 cent is worth exactly 1 cent, it still carries value. Historical value. It's a survivor from a time when copper pennies were the norm, a bridge between the Lincoln wheat cents of the past and the zinc era that followed. Think about the atmosphere of 1980. The Cold War still loomed. Economic challenges tested families, yet these coins circulated with quiet resilience, just like the man on the front. Lincoln himself faced impossible odds and preserved the Union. There's something inspiring in that parallel. Small things enduring through big history. As you picture yourself examining one of these coins under a desk lamp late at night, ask yourself, when was the last time you really looked at your change? Have you ever wondered what stories those pennies could tell if they could talk? Maybe you have a jar at home. Maybe there's a 1980 cent sitting there right now, waiting. The beauty of coin collecting isn't just in the rare million-dollar finds. It's in the everyday hunt, the learning, the connection to the past, the thrill of possibility. This little 1980 Lincoln cent reminds us that extraordinary stories often hide in ordinary places. It's proof that history isn't only in museums, it's in your pocket, your drawer, your attic. So here's my question for you. Have you ever found an old coin that surprised you? Drop your stories in the comments below. Tell me what year it was, what you felt in that moment. Your story might inspire the next viewer to start their own hunt. If you enjoyed this journey through the 1980 pennies world, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into rare coins, valuable finds, and hidden history, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Who knows, your next great discovery might be just one coin away. Thanks for watching. Keep hunting, keep wondering, and remember, sometimes the smallest things carry the biggest stories. See you in the next one.